In this video, I will be introducing the concept of systems. So what is a system? Generally speaking, a system is a set of it's a set of survival condition responses that naturally lead from one to the next in progression, in an evolution. So, for example, a tribe that lives in the desert would adopt a certain set of survival conditions that manifest themselves as a set of beliefs, such as beliefs in animistic nature spirits. They would need to have a certain bond with nature because, after all, a tribe would be a hunter-gatherer culture in most cases, and for that, they would need a certain understanding of their own environment. And as someone who doesn't have access to technology, doesn't know anything about science, they would the way that they would try to make sense of the world would be by projecting themselves onto everything that they see. So, for example, you could use the concept of Native American tribes that would do this kind of thing. And what happens with a lot of tribes over time, not necessarily Native Americans, but there are other examples of this, particularly in Africa, where as time goes on and they slowly become more and more conscious, they will eventually morph, or not morph, but just grow to adopt a certain warlike style. This often comes with the advent of certain technologies, such as certain types of weapons, sometimes metals like iron that can be made into swords. And over time, tribes will start invading each other, stealing each other's resources just because they realize they can. And eventually, these, over some successive generations, turn into empires. And if you carry this far enough, you'll end up with things like the Roman Empire. And so we've gone from a tribal survival condition, which in models I'll be introducing later would be called stage purple, and over time this evolves into an empire-like nation state, which would be described as stage red. I will go into both of these in later videos. Right now, I'm just trying to introduce the idea of natural systems and natural progression of evolution through the slow development of consciousness. It's not just humans that do this. Basically, all types of creatures, even plants, do this. Now, of course, plants don't develop empires, but they do have their own set of growth patterns. So I think that this will at least introduce the idea of what I mean by the word system. And this is something that will be brought up again and again in countless other videos, so I wanted to get it out there immediately now. So that's it for this particular segment.